band was formed a long, long time ago when long names and weird names were popular. We were putting a name together around about the same time as Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band came out. And there were all sorts of strange names at the time: Jefferson Aeroplane, Big Brother and the Holding Company. So, you had to have something that was a little bit different. And we came up with Mabel Greer's Toyshop.
I've been around this town for a good long time.
And I thought that was a crazy name, so it sounded good to me. So we started the band, I think, in about '66, got together, and we were well into the flower power era at the time, psychedelic flower power, and the band was kind of based around that.
It was either Clive or myself, I can't remember which one, put an ad in the Melody Maker, which was the big music magazine of the time. And I was either looking for a guitarist or he was either looking for a drummer. I can't remember which, but we agreed to meet up in Fleet Street in London. We met up in a pub there, talked about our plans, what we wanted to do. We were both pretty ambitious. Clive was only 16 at the time.
That's how it started, and then we brought in Chris Squire, who is the Chris Squire of Yes, who's carried on in a good tradition. And we then brought in a few other people. Oh yeah, John Anderson, he came in, and Bill Bruford.
We had some great stuff going, some really nice sounds, beautiful guitar, bass, the drums were great, they were just fantastic. But what we were missing were the harmonies, and I think John Anderson, when he came in, that's what he brought to the group. The listenability, if you like, of vocal harmonies. It seemed like we were practicing 24/7. It was hard. That seemed to be all we were doing all of the time. And that's when the band decided to get a little bit fragmented. And I left first, and Clive left just after that. And it was in August. I think I left in June, and then in August of that year, the band changed their name to Yes, because they wanted a much shorter name after having gone through the nightmare of having to repeat Mabel Greer's Toyshop.
So I hung up my spurs, I got rid of all my guitars and got rid of everything, and went into sort of nightclubs and marketing and stuff like that, where I remained for 45 years until recently, when I met up with Bob again, purely by chance, and we thought, you know what, let's get together and reform Mabel.
Well, we fell about laughing. Everybody started laughing and giggling and thought that was funny. But we decided to do it. And we went in the studio, we did a trial. And gosh, it sounded so good.
So we thought, yeah, that works. Why don't we do this properly? So Bob found Hugo, who's our bass player, who joined us for practice. And subsequently we started taking the project quite seriously, where we thought, okay, we've got the makings of a band here, we can do something. So we started to record. What you'll find on the new Mabel Greer Toyshop album, which will come out soon, is a mix of the old sounds, but with new sounds bringing them forward, and some new material.
We managed to reproduce the same kind of vibe that we had back then. It reflects the old energy and the vibe that we produced in the old days. But at the same time, we've got these experiences that have come in that have broadened the music much wider. So it's an interesting mix. People have asked me, who do we sound like? It's very difficult to answer that.
I would describe the new Mabel Greer's Toyshop as psychedelic fusion. So it's psychedelic from the old days, but it brings in a bit of Eastern music, a bit of Balkan music, a bit of country music, a bit of everything, and throws it into one. So for the listener, it might be an interesting experience.
We took 5 of the old songs that we played in the 60s, and we added to that 6 new ones. But the old songs, we took the theme. We didn't try to learn them note for note anymore. We tried to play it from memory so that we could come up with something that was different. So we had the themes, we had the melodies, but we've got completely new versions of those old songs.
Masquerading leaves of blue and circles round the morning dew. Patterns understood by you, reaching out beyond.
We've been in contact with the Yes producer Billy Sherwood quite recently, and he's looking at helping us along the way a bit, which is good, with some producing. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see what happens. We would like to do a live gig somewhere. I think the idea is to probably gig maybe London, Paris, possibly in the States, and just do a few showcase gigs, see what happens.
I think it's going to attract, not only the hardcore Yes fans over the years, but also a new audience that we're hoping that's going to be attracted to this kind of music too.
It feels great 40 years later to get back into music. I love music, I love playing it, and we both lead pretty heavy scheduled lives. We both do a lot, but getting back into music's really fantastic, and I can see it happening more and more now, and I think we'll have to create the time to write more and play more. So we're looking forward to relaunching Mabel and seeing where she goes.
Peace.